question is that I noticed that there are two kinds of silence. One we can call silence which goes with a pleasure. It's somehow this state where everything's so lovely. And another type of silence is the silence which is indifferent, which is somehow neutral. And my question is, what the type of silence is the mind state, and which silence is my true nature?
Silence is not a state of the mind. Silence appears when mind stops talking. But mind can give certain states to this silence. What you experience as emptiness or bliss, it's already the color of the mind. The mind tries to give some assessment to that and give a certain color to it, because emptiness is unbearable for the mind. Just silence is unbearable. It must interpret it in some way. When silence comes, it means mind goes to background. Your attention is absorbed in silence. Stay fully in that. Don't pay attention at whatever the color is appearing. Pleasant, unpleasant. Just stay in silence. Today is the final satsang. I'm leaving today. If there are some questions which you still have, if there is something on your spiritual path which you can't overcome, it's important to get clarity about it. Otherwise, it will follow you. It will stop you from moving in the path. That's why, if you grasp the silence and it's enough for you, that's beautiful. But if something obscures you to go deeper in it, you can ask questions and get clarity here. In order to cut the roots of all your doubts. That's also very important. Yesterday I was here, and it was a very strong experience for me to be here with you. And now, when I'm sitting here and looking at you, I notice that, same like yesterday, a very big shadow arises in me, something dark. I feel kind of sexual abuse. I like you, and I imagine you being with me, and I'm so ashamed to tell this. But it happens a lot when I look at women. After the satsang, yesterday I was talking to my friends, and I was surprised and even shocked that they were talking that they felt you as very sharp. But for me, I was absorbed by this shadow. And I understand that it's very important to look into every corner of one's shadow. So my question is, how are you dealing? What's your approach to work with these shadows? When other people come to you with these shadows, and how you handle your shadow inside of you. When you discover the light, there is no place for the shadow. If the room was in the darkness and you open the window, the room gets flooded with the light. Where is the shadow? Does it really exist? What you call a shadow in yourself, it's just a color of the mind. There is no any shadow in you. You are light. You don't see it and pay attention at the darkness which your mind is depicting. You are an alive person. It's normal when you have emotions, feelings, sensations. Every people have different things. Someone has the same feeling as you have. Someone has anger. Yesterday some people had this. Someone have offense. People have different things. These all are coming up, but it's a normal process. This is the way how the mind pictures it. No, this is just the interpretation of the mind. Ask each question how they see you and me. Every person will tell their own interpretation. It has nothing to do with the true nature. It's very important not to dive in these sensations, but point attention to the one in whom they appear. Look at the one who is aware of all these impressions, feelings, emotions, who is aware for whom they come. Someone is there to be aware of these feelings. Who is that? That which you call shadow cannot exist without light. There is the light in which all these shadows appear. Don't look at the shadow. Look at the source of awareness of this shadow. If you have a feeling or sensation, you can look at it as an object. This feeling, this sensation appears in you. You can watch it. Who is the witness? It's very important to stay as the witness, as the witnessing presence. But don't fight with these feelings and sensations. Let them go. If you stay as awareness, as your true nature, as who you are, they get transformed into spiritual nature. This shadow, it becomes light. This energy which can be used for spiritual search. It is something which can help you a lot. Because you can push from this energy into the awareness of who you truly are. If you stay in awareness, this energy will be a helper, because it's just energy. It gets transformed into spiritual nature. It doesn't matter what you feel, because you're all humans. It's natural to have emotions, feelings, and they change. You cannot run away from these things. But it's important to be aware of what is happening in you. Don't fight these things. Just be aware. Be aware for whom these things, feelings, emotions come. To whom they come. Who is feeling them? Who is aware of that? Without awareness, you can't even understand what's going on with you. First of all, you are aware of the seeing, of the hearing, of the sensations, feelings. First of all, you are aware of them, and then you interpret them by your mind. The seeing, you are being aware of the seeing, the hearing. You are not hearing. First of all, you are aware of the process of hearing. Then you interpret the sounds. Sensations. First of all, you are aware that you can sense. Maybe you notice when you touch something hot. First seconds, you don't feel the pain. Only when you see that you got burned. Few seconds after, you are aware and then you feel the pain. In this way, you should understand that before anything, whatever happens, through your perception, there is something initial in you, the basis, the ground of you, that's the consciousness. Stay in consciousness. Stay in awareness of this consciousness. It's important not to fight yourself, to let it be everything. Just dive into awareness of yourself. In this awareness, you will find peace. Then all emotions and feelings get balanced. And they don't give you any disturbance. The body-mind mechanism, it will experience something because it's the design. This body is made like that. No need to fight with yourself. Find the source of awareness of everything. Whatever happens in you, whatever happens around you, you will feel feelings and emotions all the time. Even after you get full awareness of who you are, the mechanism will keep on working. You won't become senseless robots. You can't fixate yourself in one certain state as well. In this world, energies are moving. We are interacting with each other. Certain waves arise in us. It's normal. You are consciousness. It's important to understand that you are consciousness, which plays through this body-mind. And don't prohibit consciousness to do that. When you are aware of it, when you know yourself as consciousness, you rise above this nature. And you are being in the state of presence and allowance. Everything is allowed to happen, but you are not identified with that, and it doesn't give problems to you and to other people. Truly, it is the problem which many seekers face, because many try to fight themselves for many years, change their personality, change their psychology. But this is just exchanging one programs into the other programs. It doesn't allow you to go beyond the mind. That's why any energy you can transform. Just one leap. Transform it into the awareness of your nature. When sitting here and listening to you and enjoying how the children celebrate outdoors, I experience all this. I experience it through a certain prism of myself, of a separate human, listening to the teaching that is here in the air, that is being explained through the concepts as Shiva or eternity or going beyond. I can't stop thinking about it as some separate human. I am a kind of a layer. I am separate individuality. The question is how to stop, how to get rid of this luggage that I want to understand, how to go beyond into the universe and into the non-personal, into something broad at what you point. All the concepts, all the ideas, they are helpful for some time. But then, in the end, you come to that they don't give you the final answer. That's why at a certain point, you just let it all go. And you don't look at them, you don't develop them. You just leave them and leave your mind in peace. It's important to just let them be and don't do the mind work as a habit, because the mind works on inertia and you're kind of getting some higher that you think that you're brooding on something. You give the energy to the mind. When a thought comes, there is someone who is aware that this thought came. You can be aware of this thought. For whom the thought came? Who is aware of the thought? Without the one who is aware, there is no understanding of this thought. There is no awareness that the thought came at all. Thoughts are different which they come, but you are the only one. Who is the one to whom all these thoughts, concepts, ideas, knowledge come? To whom they come? One can look at thoughts as objects, because if there is something you can look at, that means it's an object regarding you. There is a certain distance between you and thought. You are not an object. You are the subjectivity itself. And this subjectivity cannot be seen. And I cannot see itself. This subjectivity of yourself can only be aware of. One should dive attention into the awareness of yourself as consciousness, as the source, and be as it as long as possible. There are no problems with thoughts. Let them come. Like clouds in the sky. They are coming, and if you don't do anything with that, they just leave. They come and go. Feelings come and go. Sensations come and go. This process happens all the time. But there is someone who is aware of all these comings and going. That one is the only one. It's a single one. Feelings, sensations, let them all be. It's a mechanism for you to function, to experience this world, to live it with all its colors. There are no problems with that. But if you point your attention to the source and keep it there all the time, the space of awareness will get stronger and stronger, and you will stay in this peacefulness. You will go beyond the mind, leave the mind. It has served you enough. It can't give you more. Now go into the awareness. What is the source of everything? The source of the mind as well. Do you perceive others as yourself? How do you perceive other beings, other people? Perception refers to the states of the mind. When you are aware of your true self, there is no interpretation of the mind. There is no me and others. Everything is consciousness. And others don't exist. Everything is me. This separation is a seeming separation. Consciousness, which is looking through these eyes, looks through all the other eyes. It's the one consciousness. It's oneness. It looks through all the beings, all the eyes, through everything which exists. It's all one single consciousness. It's not many different consciousness.
So as I understood, there are no hassle with the body-mind mechanism. But what I noticed that sitting on the back row, so being with myself, there is a kind of state of presence. And this state of presence could be lost during I'm walking here, during I'm asking the questions. I can see the mechanism of my mind kind of step forward when I'm moving on this kind of speed, when I'm dynamically moving. So being in the ashram, there is no problems. I remain still, and but going out from the ashram, I'm facing the challenges.
What is aware in you that you have lost it? Now your body is moving, you're making some gestures. Does your consciousness change? Who is aware that something is changing or not changing? Something is being lost. Even the loss is being aware of. The body is moving. Your organs are talking. Mind is thinking. Consciousness is immovable. It cannot be lost. It cannot go anywhere. It's eternity, which you are. You are always aware of what is happening to you. Either you are in consciousness or you are lost. There is something which is aware of that. The moment when you think that you are lost, look at the one who is aware that you are lost. You will discover that it cannot be lost. A state can be lost, which you are associated with, but the presence is always there. When you are in the presence, sometimes it comes along with a state. The mistake is that people try to get back the state. The state has nothing to do with that. States change. There is the basis which is never changing. It's presence. Presence in every state. You are present always, in meditation or in anger, in dreaming, wherever you are. You always are. And you always are aware of what is happening to you. The events change, but there is the one who is looking at it as a movie. That's why that is just the interpretation of your mind that you lost and then you appear. Because mine is bored, it starts making up things.
It's like a question of habit. I need to bring my attention back and back. It's like I need to develop this habit, right?
I call this devotion. Devotion to the divine. This awakening happened to you as a gift. Don't lose it. Don't deal it as some unnecessary thing. Value this jewel. Always be in that. Always be aware that you are all this. Thank you everyone for a beautiful satsang, for this beautiful communication, for your open hearts. I felt very comfortable and pleasant with you. Thank you.